In tonight's show, Sherwood Mannenberg in high spirits despite adversity. Western Province under 19 go down to Boland under 19 in our match of the week. And more cake vouchers up for grabs in Gavin's trivia. All this and more on From the Clubhouse.
Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of From the Clubhouse. There's lots to chat about this week. We're going to be chatting about youth cricket quite extensively with the youth weeks coming up. We'll also be looking at everything that's happening within the association news, but more of that a bit later. First of all, welcome to the panel, and Clinton, great to have you once again.
It's always good to be back, and it seems we have someone different on our left-hand side. But yeah, it's been a great, exciting weekend for Western Province Cricket. We hosted the Western Cape weekend. All our youth age groups, and then also our first class team doing very well, so quite proud.
Yeah, there's lots to catch up on that, and other teams that have done well as well. But before we get to that, Mornay, it's great to have you here once again.
The 12th man is in the game again. Yeah, it's awesome to be here. Thank you, guys.
So how's your week been?
It's been good. I'm still on a very, very big high from the Cobras. Very impressive showing at the Wanderers on Sunday. So that's sort of been carrying me through the week, and I'm hoping that the Proteas can also do well with the test starting this week as well. So maybe they can end off their long, grueling 72, 73, 74 day tour. I don't even know how long it is, but maybe they can end it off on a positive note first and set themselves up nicely for the tour against England.
I'm sure they're going to want to wrap up that one very quick. I saw Asim Amla saying that it's been the worst 3 days of his life, and I can understand it wasn't exactly the easiest, but hopefully, like you say, the fourth test. But let's talk cricket. Morning. Starting with you now, you had lots of hype regarding the Proteas and the Cobras or whatever. Cobras must have been quite a bit of hype. We saw a bowler come opening batsman really take the bull by the horns and smash 99 of, 57 balls?
Yeah, let's take a few steps back though, and let's take you to why Wayne Parnell was opening the batting. Because Richard Levy, in a freak accident, and I'm really hoping that he's recovering well, but in a freak accident, one of his teammates fielding a ball, threw the ball in from the boundary and hit him on the side of the head. So he was rendered obsolete for that game. And then Wayne Parnell stepped in, opened up the batting, and man, I think he realized in that performance, he realized so much of the potential that a lot of the cricket-loving public knows is inside of him, and hopefully he can use that as a springboard and just maybe go to some higher honors as well. We know that there's a T20 World Cup around the corner as well, so hopefully Wayne can, with a few consistent performances, put his name up for that squad as well.
Now, it's funny you should mention that in talking about the all-rounder role and whatever, and I don't want to sort of use, as they would call it in cricket, the commentator's curse, where they'll say this guy's doing well and then he loses his wicket. But a lot of people are starting to say maybe that's our answer at number 7. We've been looking for number 7. We've been looking for a genuine all-rounder. We've been missing the likes of maybe a Sean Pollock and what he brought to the game. And now they're sort of putting Wayne into the frame as well in terms of maybe fulfilling that role. Do you think it's a bit sort of we a bit ahead of our time in terms of trying to give him that mantle?
Well, I don't think so, because I mean the elder statesman in the Cobras side, Justin Kemp, was just this week quoted also as saying that Wayne Parnell could be the answer for South Africa at number 7 in that all-rounder role. And looking at T20s, certainly, I mean you got the likes of David Visu who's currently there. David Miller's also sort of in that 6-7 position, and then you look at guys like Albie Morkel, who's also performing very, very well. You'd probably say at this stage of the game, Albie is probably a lot more of a favourite going into that T20 World Cup, fulfilling that sort of number 7 batsman and change-up bowler role. But certainly, I mean, if Wayne Parnell puts in a few more strong performances towards the latter end of this Ramsam T20, he could overtake Albie in those standings. And
long may it continue. Clinton, what's happening on your front? Because you all about amateur cricket, and you've been having quite a couple of busy weeks as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just listening to the hype around the Cobras and being around at the office, I think it's great to have. And we're so close to really securing a home semi-final. It'll be great for the province. It'll be good, and especially where we started in the beginning of the season. So it'll be good to see. And I just want to also my point on with regards to that number 7 position. I think the immediate decision for that position, I would rather stick to Alvin Morkel because of the experience, the likes of him in India, how he performs in the IPL. So I mean, those type of things will add value to Alvin Morkel. But definitely, Wayne Parnell looking much better shape, much more confident, and I think he's really enjoying his cricket in Cape Town. And I think it's also the opportunity of the likes of Paul Adams, them giving that opportunity, that all the free reign of really going and playing. And we must also remember that he's playing with injuries. So he's had a finger injury, he's had a foot injury, and he's pushed on. So it's almost like he believes this is his time now to really go ahead and try to push on and make that big step now. Because if someone else with the injury would have just sat back and said, listen, I'll recover. But he's actually pushing and playing through that pain and really trying to push on. So kudos to him, and we hope that all goes well for him in his career as well. Amateur cricket, exciting. Western Cape weekend, I think it was great. Western Province losing 2 games. One of the important ones, the Coke side. We lost to Boland. Also under 17A's lost to Boland. But the rest of the weekend, we beat SWD. All the other teams in Boland, our B teams beat SWD on the weekend. But it was great hosting the players. Great having a Western Cape day, having all the players around to see what we have within the pipeline of Western Cape cricket, who's going to push on into academies, who's going to push through into first-class cricket, and then to feed the franchise side. So it's good to see all of that. The process is starting now. I would like to see it going further as well.
Any other Wayne Parnells that you're hiding in the cupboard there?
No, there might be. Dayan Khalim played very well in the first-class game on the weekend. He took 4 for 11 in the T20 on Sunday. He was pulled out to the Coke side, played in the T20, got 4 for 11. Break down the back of Gauteng. Also the 3-day game, the weekend, we killed with Gauteng on the Saturday. We took 4 wickets in the last 4 overs. Pilo Njaloza really match winner performance with the ball. Zubair Hamza once again getting 100 and runs. Umpile Ramela making a game in the first class side and also getting 90 yards. So it was good to see these players really performing. Peter Malan is back as captain, leading the side. So it's good to see these players really pushing on and putting pressure on the Cobras. And that's important because remember we also have a Sunfull series coming up very soon after the Ram Slam. So those pressures on the coach right now to select the players, and it's good to see that there's people knocking on the door and to get that opportunity at Sunfull level.
And in terms of what's a couple of weeks still coming now, is there anything that you want to draw attention to that's quite big?
With regards to youth cricket, it's very important. All our national weeks, so all our teams depart as of this weekend. The Coke side starts on the 16th, which is obviously that's the highlight of our calendar with regards to Coke side in PE. So it's good to see these teams, looking at them over the weekends, the preparations. I mean, it's been a long winter. They had winter nets, they had warm-up games, and now they culminate with the tournament. So good luck to all of those teams, and I think management has really set the sides. And as mentioned previously, is that the amount of teams, we select 19 provincial sides, which is A and a B side in each category, and invitation teams, just to give people that big opportunity and to go to national weeks. And we've also created age groups within age groups. So when you have under 13, we created under 12. We have under 15, we created under 14. To prepare those boys for next year's trials, to prepare them for national weeks.
Well, we've reached that part of the show again where we take a look at the trivia questions. Last week was one that had quite a couple of answers. It had me bamboozled as well. But I'm sure you got the answers. Morne, give us a rundown, because it was how to get out, all the different ways to get out in cricket. But I think there was too much for me even to know. You know, when I was playing, I got out a couple of ways, but certainly not as much as you can possibly get out. So just give us a recap and tell us who those winners are.
Thanks, Brandon. Well, certainly last week when we heard the question, it was a case of I can maybe name 4, I can maybe name 5. But in fact, the correct answer to last week's Gavin's trivia question, the question, of course, being in how many ways can you get out in cricket, the correct answer is 10. So 10 ways to get out, Brandon.
10 ways. Now, I can remember being bowled,
Yes.
LBW, stumped, standing on your wickets.
Then it gets a bit difficult. Then it gets to run out. I don't know if you've mentioned
Yes,
run
run
out.
yes.
Then it gets to, you can be timed out. Do you know that? You can be timed out. You can be given out for obstructing the field. I'm sure there are 2 more others, but I can't get to it at the moment. But lots of different ways. So in theory, our whole batting side can go out in 10 different ways.
Well, I probably don't remember them because I never went out in those other funny ways. They're probably more the sort of, it's more a case of when they happen very few and far between.
Certainly the exception than the rule. If we look at last week's winners, congratulations to those of you who got the question correct. There were quite a few of you. No doubt you got a bit of help, but that's fine. The winners for this week's trivia question, Andrea Croy. Thank you so much, Andrea, for also letting us know that her late dad was a cricketer. His name is Grumpy Adams. I'm sure a lot of you have fond memories of Grumpy. So Andrea Croy, she's one of our winners. And the second of our winners is the legendary scorer, Gillian Carlse. She's our second winner, and our winners on Gavin's Trivia win 250 Rand vouchers for Made by Mum cakes. Every cake tells a story. So Andrea and Julian, you guys must enjoy those 250 Rand vouchers. Now, getting to this week's Gavin's Trivia question, we've got an easy one for you. It happened not too long ago, very, very recently. We want to know from you, who was the Cape Cobras player who scored 99 runs against the Highveld Lions in a recent Ramslam T20 game at the Wanderers? I think it's very, very simple for those of you who watched the game. You can get in touch with us through the normal channels. You can email your answers through to info@fromtheclubhouse.co.za. You can also get in contact with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/fromtheclubhouse. You can also contact us on Twitter at @clubhouse_TV.
Thanks, Morna. I'm sure there's people like lining up to win those Made by Mom cake vouchers, as we saw with this past week, and they got the answer right as well. So congratulations to all those winners, and hopefully if you're watching and you missed out, hopefully next week you'll come up with a name. It isn't Herschel Gibbs by chance, that batsman that's
definitely not. No.
Definitely. Well, there you have it. It's not Herschel Gibbs. So if you were thinking of that, it's definitely not him. Coming up after the break, it's our game of the week. It's the Western Province under-19 versus Boland under-19.
Hi, I'm Damien Crowley, captain of Monaghan Cricket Club first team, and you're watching From the Clubhouse.